Welcome back, everybody, to our quarantine show recommendations clip spectacular. So we watched
Documentaries now.
a couple documentaries on Showtime, again on Showtime, and one of them was the Reagans.
Find the login of that already.
Yeah, okay.
Tonight.
Okay. One of them was the Reagans, and one of them was the Comedy Store documentary. First of all, the Reagans. Now, I enjoyed politics. I like to read about it. I like to read biographies and hear the stories of these people on the right and left. And so I realized I really didn't know a whole lot about Ronald Reagan's life and even his presidency. I'm not particularly a fan.
Because we are younger.
He was kind of going on when we were very little. I don't even know if we were born when
We were
Reagan
not
was
born.
on.
He
Let's
left
see.
the office 1989.
We were born when George W. Bush was just getting into office. So we don't have any memory of Reagan, Clinton, or Bush 1. But I thought it was very well made. It contains a lot of old archival footage, but the type that is not just from newscasts. I like this. A lot of documentaries now are going back and finding old footage from like behind the scenes, and they got someone who's filming the president while he's talking to the press, as opposed to just being what you saw in the nightly news. So it's interesting to see that. And they had a lot of interviews with people who, were in his cabinet, speechwriters and whatnot. But what I liked was they presented a full image of him, warts and all, the good and the bad. And there was some bad, a lot of bad. But you can sort of see the charisma of him, if you're into that kind of thing. If you like a fake cowboy who, rides around on his ranch and basically sells out, then Reagan's the guy for you. But it's a well-made documentary.
I like it too. I thought that was very interesting to see the power dynamic with him and his wife. She definitely had a huge influence in what he did in his choices. And it was even said that she even hired like some astrology woman to kind of give like the president kind of like insights about what decision to make, what days to fly, what days not to fly. Yeah. So it's super interesting. She definitely had a lot of control and power there, and people really underestimate the power of the first lady, especially now during this times, because we have like Melania Trump as a first lady. But Michelle Obama or the Reagan, they carry, or Hillary Clinton too at her time with Bill Clinton. They carry power, and they know how to use things their way and talk to their husbands to make those important decisions. So it was very interesting to see how she was very influential, and how it was kind of her idea, this president thing too, apparently. She brought it up to him.
She seemed to push him a little bit. Yeah.
She pushed him to become the president. Like literally it was her idea, they said. They said it was her idea. She was pushing towards him, and he loved it. That was one of the things.
She was small, but she was tough, and she had a willpower, and she got a lot done. But,
and
she was
classy,
also
super classy.
But she's also a bit out of touch, when they said that she completely redecorated the White House and got the expensive China. Yeah, I know, but like in the middle of a bad economy, she's doing that, and just the optics of it are terrible. I almost felt bad for Reagan because, it's like, what is he gonna do? He obviously doesn't have enough power over his wife. She's able to just steamroll over him, and the poor guy was probably losing his marbles by then.
Oh, Dante thinks always a guy is a victim. Why don't we call Dr. Phil right now? That's not true at all. He probably agreed. He loves luxury. He's an actor. He has an ego bigger than himself. We all knew that. The whole reason that he wanted to become a president is so he can be adored. And he embraced that role very well. And he didn't care. He even convinced people that you shouldn't have your raise, or your unions should be closed, or whatever, in a nice way as possible. He's so charismatic that he will convince you something that will benefit you to be canceled with a smile on his face. That guy knows exactly what he's doing. He was not being controlled. They are both actors and used to their Beverly Hills Palisades. Actually, is where they live. They keep saying they lived in Beverly Hills, but Dante knows that he lived in Palisades. Right. Their luxury lifestyle. So no, I don't think he's a victim. I think he loves it, and he probably one of the reasons why he's in love with that woman.
I'm always surprised that Reagan didn't get into the presidency until he was 70. And like you said,
You gotta wait to
he
be old enough.
almost didn't make it in. And I'm always just surprised that these guys still want to be president bad enough. Now, I am not 70, of course. So I don't know what it's like when you get to that point in your life. Do you still are you still driven? Are you still desirous of power and success that much? Or are you ready to go back to the ranch and just put your cowboy hat on and ride the horses and just chill? Because you look at a guy like Biden who's 78, or even Trump, or any president, any person that runs for president.
Thirst for power.
At that age, do you ever just chill out and stop being thirsty for power? I can't believe that it's even still
this?
Like a guy like Reagan or whoever. They still. I'll let you make a point. 1 second. They still. It's like something they wanted their whole life, right? They want to be president their whole life. But as you grow and your life, you know, your life happens to you, and your experiences can shape and change your needs and wants, you don't lose the desire to be president?
I don't think so. And I think
you still want it that badly?
I think being president is one of those careers that if you're older, the bigger the chances of you to get it, because I don't want to say this, but the patriarchy of society in general, not only in America, but all over the world, we tend to think that the older people are more reliable, responsible, and not self-centered, which is very incorrect, because they obviously are very self-centered. But I think that being president is one of the few professions for older men that people really trust them. It's not like you're going to be like, hey, do the programming for this cool video game for me. You're 7 years old. You're not even going to be working at that time. No, but I'm saying that for president, usually people think like someone is older, someone is more experienced, and you're going to be able to kind of hold the values of the past, but still move forward.
I know. I understand why we want an older, experienced
person. But let me explain why. Why they want.
Why? Like, don't they ever get over it?
Okay, so first of all,
find some other thing that they actually want?
I think like, for example, we should definitely hire like some type of maybe invite a psychologist to talk about that. I think that'll be better to talk about that.
Well, I want you to tell me.
Okay,
you just told me you were going to tell me.
Oh, no, I believe it. Okay, so I think is this. I think that in your life, you have different buckets of things that you want to do. And I think when you're in your 70s, let's say Reagan had a successful career. He served in the army. So he can, he played heroes in movies. He also did that also to kind of keep his backbone as a hero. He was an actor before that, and then he served, then he came back as an actor again, and he built his life. And I think in the back of his mind, he wanted to be adored. Just like Trump, I think a lot of the presidents or men that kind of or women actually, in fact,
even Clinton had the same thing. He wanted the attention.
Yeah. The thing is, when you are used to people adore you as an actor or adore you as a writer, whatever you are, whatever position that you are, power, you love the attention, and the more you get, it's like cocaine. People love it. It's like a drug. It gives you the endorphins. You want to walk in a room being the person most well known in the world, then pick up to be the president of the United States, which is the strongest country of the world. So I think for him, it's like better than an Oscar. Better than anything, it's a big F you to everyone that won over him, everyone that won over her. She will be the first lady of the United States. He will be the president. So let me say something. Even that old, you're gonna be like, okay, I accomplished this in my own term, but how about use my popularity, just like Trump did? He uses that popularity, his charisma for The Apprentice and for the TV shows, all that BS. To get people's attention, and then he became the president. It's just that. And Biden, he was second guy for Obama. There's actually a Jimmy Kimmel that I watched today that in 2014 they were asking around, who's Joe Biden? And nobody answered. They thought it was a basketball player. This guy thought that was like some person. And one person said, "Oh, he's the secretary. He's the assistant for Obama." And that was like the closest thing to say. Nobody knew who he was. So now he probably was second place for Obama. Now he got it.
Of course. I'm just saying, how do you never lose that desire? Because it's takes a lot to become president. You have to go through a lot, and it's a lot of work, a lot of traveling, a lot of speaking, a lot of thinking, talking, glad handing, all that shit, fundraising. and it's very tiring. I can't figure out how Joe Biden
Not
was
just
able
how
to
he's
stay
tired.
awake.
It's you.
at
The
all
problem. The
times.
problem is
No,
not. The problem is you. You're not self-motivated enough.
I'm looking at like an old person. Like, how is Nancy Pelosi able to stay up late and then be up early the next morning and be on the job? I
She
just
probably
don't get
has
it.
a sobriety calendar.
Maybe, but
And a good espresso machine.
I don't know.
Look, what I'm saying, I think that the belief that you're doing better for the world, just like Scientology convinced Tom Cruise that by staying in Scientology, he's doing good for the world, that he's changing the world, he stays there, or whatever, whoever followed that. I'm saying that being a president or being involved in politics, you put in your mind that you're doing good for the world. Does the same thing. So you're thinking like, okay, I have to get up early because I'm doing good for the world. I'm gonna make my life count. And some people have something in their mind that's called living like a how you say, like a you leave a patrimony. How you say, leave a
I don't know. Watermark?
yeah, leave some mark in the world. Some people start kicking the light. I'm saying you leave a mark in the world. You want to leave a legacy. So I guess maybe like before you die, you want to die thinking that you want to leave a legacy. So even though in your 70s, you give the last push. So you think like, I left a legacy. I helped healthcare. I help with that. I help with this. Makes you feel accomplished. And you do it for America, and you could do stuff for the world because you have the power to change like the agreements with the world, and you can make a huge impact and put your name of your family on the top of the food chain. Nobody knew the Bidens before. Now they're on the top of the food chain.
Right. Well,
Stop taking the light.
Anyways, this was the Reagans on Showtime, and if you're into documentaries, political documentaries,
What is the other one too?
You can
Let's talk about the
check
other
it out.
documentary. What is the other documentary?
Well, let's make another video.
Okay, check it out the next video for now.